Hello, everyone. I'm Alicia Malone, and it's finally here, Oscars Day. Tonight, we'll see the 98th Academy Awards, and I'm crossing my fingers for our friend Paul Thomas Anderson. This is also the final day of our 31 Days of Oscar Festival, and appropriately, we have a lineup of Academy Award winning or nominated films about Hollywood. We start with Judy Garland as a star on the rise in the six-time Oscar-nominated A Star is Born from 1954. Garland was one of those nominees for Best Actress for what she hoped would be her comeback film. She had been pushed out of her home studio, MGM, in 1950 after a series of personal struggles that affected her work. Over the next 2 years, Garland performed live in London and New York to rave reviews and sold-out shows. Following that success, she and her husband and manager, Sid Luft, decided the time was right to return to the big screen. Garland and Luft set up their own production company and acquired the remake rights to A Star is Born, an Oscar winner from 1937. They negotiated a deal with Warner Brothers, hired playwright Moss Hart to rework the original script into a modern-day musical, and brought in George Cukor to direct. To star opposite Garland, several big stars were considered, including Humphrey Bogart, Cary Grant, and eventually James Mason. He knew he was not the first choice, but said he was very fond of Garland, and when the role came his way, he, quote, grabbed it smartly before it slipped away. Judy Garland stars as an aspiring singer, Esther Blodgett, who is spotted by veteran actor Norman Maine. Maine is struggling in his career and drinking heavily, but the two fall in love and he helps her get her big break at the studio, where Esther Blodgett is transformed into Vicky Lester. Also with Jack Carson from 1954, this is A Star is Born. That was the second version of A Star is Born, following the original from 1937. The story of one star on the rise while another is falling is so timeless that two more versions have been made to date, one from 1976 starring Barbra Streisand and Kris Kristofferson, and another from 2018 with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. All four versions were nominated for or won Oscars, and our version was nominated for 6 in total, including Best Actor for James Mason and Best Actress for Judy Garland. In her category, Judy Garland was up against Dorothy Dandridge for Carmen Jones, Audrey Hepburn for Sabrina, Jane Wyman for Magnificent Obsession, and the Best Actress winner, Grace Kelly, for The Country Girl. Garland had won a Juvenile Academy Award in 1940, but this was her first competitive Oscar nomination, and she couldn't attend the ceremony because she was giving birth to her third child, Joey Luft. Many believe Garland should have won the Oscar over Grace Kelly, but Garland always maintained that Joey was the best award she could have received that night. Well, if you can't make it to Hollywood for tonight's Oscar ceremony, don't worry. We are visiting La La Land on 31 Days of Oscar with a lineup of movies about Hollywood. Next is a dark look at fame with a 3-time Oscar winner starring Gloria Swanson and William Holden and directed by Billy Wilder.
Next on TCM, Sunset Boulevard. Then, The Barefoot Contessa. And later, The Oscar. Oscar takes a hard look in the mirror today.